Hey guys, welcome back. It's Lucid, and we've got another turn here with Sanatorium, your local friendly medical service provider. And we have our usual people trying to mind hunt us. We lost the gnome, which was kind of annoying, and that actually ends up influencing a battle. We managed to kill one of the elf thugs on our capital with a mind hunt of our own. Mind hunt is pretty useful as a tool, especially when we're not deploying. They're going for like random low value stuff that's kind of hard for us to protect, but yeah. I will, as you can see here, I will let you know that we tried to meme on underwater as best we could because, well, so here we have the gear collector, and he has showed up with a horde from hell, and this is them just fucking with us. Live to win until you die. Yes. And he summoned a couple water elementals. Our air elementals kill all of his dudes. The imps killed him. And excellent. And as you can see, according to plan, gear collector found a Starshine Skull Cap. Gear collector found a bottle of living water. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Here we magic phased on top of one of their forts. And by the way, guys, we've got a big battle coming up. I should have probably mentioned that at the start. But if you need to pause it, go put the popcorn in the microwave. Do that and come back, because you're going to need it in a minute. Okay, those guys get wrecked. Grippa is doing these turns, and he had been pretty... They did a better turn here, but they've been kind of just low effort a little bit. I've been disappointed. It's going to be like the penultimate war that the whole game has been building to. I do shit like this, just saying, casual... They've been wasting lesser horror every turn, where they're like, okay, we trade... Look, they traded 18 blood slaves to kill 6 long dead. And they just keep hitting this stack with it like something good is going to happen. I don't know what the hell they're doing. They might have actually Jim burned it. Well, no, they didn't. Anyway. Here was the next Shaitan coming in. And this guy is named Trying. We're making fun of them for possibly the lamest start to a war that I've ever seen. So Trying powers up. And these guys have Blood Bond. Very bad things happen when you have Blood Bond. And, yeah. You get overkilled. Basically, we still are going to kill you. Instead of taking like 10 hits to kill everybody, it's now going to take like 3. We hit this in the magic phase. This was to potentially block seductions. There were some we also wanted to hit in the magic phase, but it was a little risky. And we ran out of air gems. A bunch of blood hunting messages. Didn't find any commanders. We lost okay, so this sage got assassinated by a dryad, and then we had a nurse get stolen. We ended up killing this nurse in a second. I'm going to show you guys the big battles, but first, I want to show you memeing on ancheriarchos. So they attacked here, which was pretty predictable. And on our side, we have Fish Hater, cast Strength of Gaia. Throw away your troops, prepares to cast Blessing. And Is it looting if you fail, prepares to cast Summon Earth Power. Yes. And don't worry, we got him, guys. The Churgeons running through. And so they're now literally all of their raiders are dead. And these guys are kind of expensive. They're 13 gold a pop. So yeah, now on to the main battle, which is a battle with. Well, we'll do the main thing. The main thing here is with Vinland, and we are attacking into them. It might be this one. This is not it. There's a Shaitan coming through. We kill some PD. Here we just knock them off our capital. The caves, I don't believe it's this one. This was just a Shaitan coming through. This may have been it. No, this was a small raiding party. And that was Satalis and Laria. The Godswoods. I think this is it. Nope, this is a Shaitan raiding again. Here we've got Cataphract PD. Can be a little spicy, but with Mistform it doesn't really matter. Yoink. And, okay, that was Bahamut. Was it Mountain of Mists? I can't remember if it was a mountain province. Yep, this is it, boys. Popcorn out. On the side of what should we call ourselves? Practitioners of extreme longevity. We have this motley crew. On the side of dirty, stinking, sneaky elves that deserve to be punished. That are attacking us for no good reason. I'm just kidding. They have a good reason. Yeah, we've got this army. So it's a big line of... I don't fully get the formation here. I guess this, like, evocation bait. We're not really doing evocation spam. Then it's these condors, which are pretty good. Some Van Heers. And a bunch of these kind of undead troops. For mage support, they've got some of their special summons, the Kanara, which are kind of cool. And then they've got a couple Numidian sorceresses. They also have the last Partholonian. And she's pretty badass. Or he. It's, and presumably he's going to be casting, like, Dance of the Morgans. Yeah, and then more Condors. It's a bajillion siege chaff. I actually checked with Maryland, because we were recording some today. What, if they were moved, because we moved on to them, and this battle is taking place in the province they were in last turn. I was asking what they did with this army. He's like, yeah, we're moving it on to you guys. Because, you know, we don't really know. They could have stayed still, or they could have been moving on to us, and then we have the battle. And let me turn on team-colored squares, because foreshadowing, it's going to be important. All right, let's turn on the round thing, round 0. There goes Master and Slave number 1. And you can see we have gotten most of the Condors. And this happened round 0. You can see it's still round 0. And these guys have pretty horrible morale. I mean, MR, if you hadn't noticed. And so there was no way, it was literally impossible for them to get anti-magic off at this time. And this is potentially going to mess up a lot of scripting, because these guys are like next to mages. They can interrupt them. Most of them are probably going to die right now, but we got Fog Warriors off turn 1 too, which happens conveniently after the Master and Slave. Second Master and Slave just happened, but there's not actually a ton to hit. We got a bunch of the Centaurs, we got a fair number of the Van Heers. You can see some of our Van Heers right here. And we got some of the Long Dead dudes. I mean, the Shades. Now, these guys are mindless, so it's one of the things you don't always think about. You think like, oh, Master and Slave will steal your stuff. Well, not everything. It won't steal mindless stuff like these Corpse Constructs, which is too bad, because these Corpse Constructs only have 3 MR. Wouldn't it be great if there were a spell that would steal mindless undead units? Oh, it appears we also cast that spell. That spell was called Undead Mastery. And as you can see, they have all turn-coded. We have rewired all the little ligament neuron thingies that are running around in their head. And they're now on our side. And they're obviously going to rout very soon because they've lost all their army. And we've got some evocations landing. We actually come very close to burning out our communion completely. These guys are all taking damage. I think some of the reinvigorations didn't quite go off. I don't know exactly why, but anyway. And yeah, that's how that battle went. So, yeah, you can see we got a ton. They had a ton of gear. We got the Bloodstone. That's super nice. We got a Flame Focus Staff. That's not that great. An Enchanted Mirror. These are really useful. We got a Bow of War. We got a Lion Pelt, a Cornucopia. That's really nice. We got Earth Boots. That's really nice. Got Boots of the Messenger. We got another Cornucopia. We got Rainbow Armor. It's one of the things about temporary gem items is they're great, but if you lose a battle, not only did you not get a lot of, like, you know, for these things to pay for themselves, you want to be successful in battle after battle. Well, problem is if you don't win your battles, you spent a lot of gems to lose, and then potentially your opponent gets a nice message like this when they log in. But they're very nice for dealing with gem baiting and stuff. It's just, it's kind of like when it rains, it pours when you use those. And then we got an Ancient Casket, which also really good. So we got a ton of these temp gem items, like a lot. And you can see we got 50 Condors, 13 Centaur Warriors, 183 Corpse Constructs, and about 30 Shades and Shadow Soldiers. We got 3 Morgans, which are pretty cool. We got Spear the Morgan, which is a decay and a life drain effect. We got 2 Master Smiths, which sadly we're probably gonna have to sacrifice in a Triad. They're not really worth Gift of Reasoning. And yeah, it's on their side they lost everything, just about. They had, I think, a couple mages make it out, maybe. Yeah, 2 of the wait, how do they? Oh yeah, they have 2 of these guys that escaped, but otherwise it was a wipe. The turn rolled over the night, and I wake up in the morning, and I have a message where Venisar, one of the guys on Team Vinland, was like, "Oh my god, that was pretty well played." And I was like, "Oh, I haven't seen the turn yet." But yeah, this is pretty brutal. Yeah, it's really hard to fight this. There's things you can do, but it's fucking oppressive, really. And you can't do what they did. They kind of, like, to fight this kind of thing, you have to be extremely careful with strategic map movement. You can't put an army out there and, like, say, "Hey, come kill this." That's never going to work, because if you put something on a tee and you let me swing at it with this composition, with the research we have, literally, I don't think anything can fight us. So, yeah. Let's go through the rest of the battles, though, real quick. Okay, so her and Priest actually raid successfully here. This actually was, we'll kind of watch this. This was pretty touch and go. And the nice thing about raiding with these guys is that if they die, you don't even really care. They just, my dog wants to play. She's biting me. Yeah, because if they die, they just come back as priests. As Malakwees. You can see we got real close to killing them. They were in here, and then I think it's like, oh, we're going to win, and then they kind of get banished before they kill enough of them. We totally could have survived that. But in the end, we didn't. Shaitan raiding. Here we put up... I thought he was going to roll out the whole army, but he only rolled out a few guys. And, yeah. We chopped them up pretty good. Not a bad trade. Sadly, we did spend like 20 pearls, and he got to see our script. And Aussies, by the way, Master and Slave is not really for the Aussies. I mean, we would get some of them, which would be great, But like if he brought like a proper army, it's more for the other troops. Like with 16 MR, it's just a little too high. Like we didn't get many. Let's watch it one more time. Look how many actually get converted each round. 3? So we got 10%. And then we only got 1 there, so we got like, I don't know. It's not a very high conversion rate. It's mostly for the other stuff. If he brought normal troops, it would have less MR and it would swing the battle for us. So anyway. And then they're rating us with the vampire count that got killed. I think this is his rather annoying Ring of Returning Haggadrot. This was another fight that took place. So he actually moved out and attacked us here. And we have a decent amount of stuff. But they do end up winning. I think we kill most of his troops. We had some skelly spam come through. Yeah, and in the end, we lost a gnome, which sucks. But we killed 19 condors and then 14 Van Heers. Really for the cost of some Great Boars and Long Dead and a gnome. So that was fine. I can't remember if this gnome had any gear on him. Let's check, because that would be the other... I don't think he did. I think he was naked. Yeah, he was naked. So, I mean, this is an amazing trade. There's that battle. This is kind of funny. Mammon striking out again. Okay. So that's that, guys. Oh, we got a new famous hero. Let's see if he got a cool trait. Heroic quickness. That's pretty damn useful. And you can see we just... I mean, we stole all this stuff, right? So we're like plus 200 here or whatever. What were we total? Yeah, plus 200. And, yeah, now we're basically going to get to conquer them. And I've kind of been bothering these guys like they were going to attack. And I'm like, guys, where is your army that's going to attack us? And they've got like this. Like some Malakui priests. 12 huge Malakui priests. I don't know. I sent... Zan and I were talking in Discord. And I was like, dude, I've got technically enough thrones to win. Like, this one was promised to El Shu. But El Shu's being very slow about taking it. He still hasn't taken Pinpappy. It's like, and as soon as they take it, I mean, I probably shouldn't give it to them because as soon as, like, they need to turn on me just because how the game state is right now. But, like, I told them they could have it. And they were like, you should probably just claim it and win. And I was like, well, like I was telling El Shu, like, well, you know, I want to give these guys a fight. I don't want to throne rush. But we've had plenty of time to fight now. These guys have lost. They're basically at this battle. They're not dead yet, but they're pretty much out of the game. And then these guys are like half-assing it. Zan has been really busy in personal life. And Grippa's been half-assing the turns. Like... They have to... The thing is, they were right to attack us at that time. But they needed to, like, mobilize an army and attack. And Vinland did, and they lost the army. But that was... They did the right move strategically. They just... And I'm not even saying they, like, tactically did anything wrong. It's just... the army was too hard. we were too hard to kill. But, yeah... These guys were like fucking around, kind of like doing some raiding, but very low commitment stuff. They needed to like push through, and our army grabs are going crazy right now. So I was like, how about we have like a fight? You tell me where, we'll do the final fight. But I think it might make sense for us to claim the throne. So I think what we're going to do this turn, because I'll let El Shu know But I think we're going to magic phase in dudes to claim all the thrones. Or generally move them in, right? So I'll probably move this guy here, and we just need to claim this throne somehow, which, you know, is pretty trivial. We'll move this guy here, and the next turn we claim it, and then we win. These are our 2 unclaimed thrones, and yeah, that'll be that. So I think we're going to do that. You know, I was imagining the game blossoming more into, yeah, I wanted to have Galegate and these other things, and like we didn't really get to do our Dom push thing. I mean, we're doing it, but I don't know. We weren't in our final form yet, guys. I kind of wanted to show it to you. But we're spiraling so completely out of control that and I don't know. It's I think it's kind of like I want the game to end in the right way. So, you know, these guys were my allies. I want them to feel like they have a shot at fighting. Like we're not trying to pull the thing out from under them and trying to throne rush. So I think we've done that, though. I think they've had their shot. Vinland has basically said good game, because, I mean, they know they're toast now. And these guys have had their time. I don't see anything here that's going to kill us. It's possible they could outplay us or something, but I think we've basically won now, too. Like, I'm convinced. Because the other thing, too, is with Vinland out of the picture now, essentially, we've killed a lot of his thugs. We have killed his major doom stack. He's definitely has nothing left to take infrastructure from us. Like, he has some units, but there's nothing here that is going to threaten to take infrastructure. And these guys have things, but yeah, there's nothing here that makes me think they're going to kill us. So, I mean, maybe they could kill the Sea of Icecaster, and Ancheriarchos could come out and help too, and Elshu. I don't think it's going to happen or matter. So yeah, I think I'll probably send a message out to everybody in the game saying I'm going to go try to take the thrones. If you have anything you want to do about it, you know, come do it. And then, and that way people get to do things. I'm going to send, before I do that though, a message to Elshu where I make sure they're cool with it. And they were cool with it before. I know the elves are cool with it. And then I've already talked with these guys, and they've said to go do it. So we're going to do it. Unless Elshu throws up an objection, which I don't think they will. I think they've had fun. What Elshu had said was that, you know, they almost had died, right? Pinpappy almost conquered them. And then this whole thing turned around. So they're just happy to be in the game and to have been relevant. And they definitely were. And, you know, Mammon thought that the elves wouldn't be able to do anything against them, and they slaughtered one of the Mammon armies. So I think that was a kind of cool story. And, yeah, and I mean, they're pretty big now. I don't have the score graph, so I couldn't tell you. But, yeah, I think that's basically what we're going to do. We're just going to take this. I'll probably still do this turn properly and try to conquer a bunch of land, do all the counter raiding. But in practice, I mean, we have forted thrones that unless they pop them this turn... any of my thrones don't have to be the ones I'm going to claim, then we win. So, yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to do much about it. But we also stole Earthblood Deepwell this turn. So, that's nice. We've got pretty phenomenal Earth income. Yeah, I think that's basically it, boys. I think that's it. Yeah, we'll do a proper after action review. I actually want to spend a lot of time on it because I want to talk about each nation, how looking back on it, I think about their builds, like which ones were good, which ones I think weren't quite as good, or maybe what some flaws in each of them were, and then about how they played. So I'll probably focus more on the nations that are left in the game rather than the nations that aren't. So... yeah. But that'll be fun. So tune in next time. And we will probably do a bunch of things in one where we claim the thrones and then look at score graphs and stuff here at the end. But yeah, it's been fun. And by the way, our milk court, our gam herding's finally free to move. So hopefully nothing comes over here and messes with us. But, oh yeah, and if these guys are moving over here, we actually don't even need this guy to move. But anyway. Also, the other thing too, when I'm thinking about like what I actually want to do, I really don't want to sit on these forts. Fuck sitting on Dryad forts, man. If I don't need it, I think I wanted to like conquer them and maybe come over and take one of these thrones, and that's what I would win with. And like we could do that, but ugh, Dryad forts. I'd be more inclined to like route this army down here and go fuck with Grippasan than to sit on Dryad forts. If we were prepared better, it would be a thing. Like we could make a ton of Shadow Imps or something and go sit on it, but we'd have to actually do that. I mean, we could. It would just take us a hot second. I mean, probably worth it. But I mean, honestly, I think we're just gonna go control a bunch of land, prepare for a final fight with Grippasan, and then we'll call it. So, it's been a tremendously fun game so far. Yeah. Anyway, after action review next time. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see y'all then.